Hey guys, Magenta is back here today again with another Buddyfight deck profile. This time it'll be on a relatively fun deck. Yeah, so it's actually a Systemic Dagger Black Edge deck. So actually this deck can do very well. It's hyper aggressive and it can do a lot of damage in a turn. Okay, so at the back of the video, I will show you some of the combos. But now let's just get on with the deck profile. So, Dragon Wall, and our body monster is Blade Wing Dragon. So it's the size 1 with move, 2k power, 2 criticals, 2k defense. Yeah. So actually, there's no difference what body monster you want, but he's cool, okay, he has move. Okay, for the size 2, so this isn't really my main deck or whatever, so I didn't put sleeves. Okay, so size 2 we have Drum Bunker Dragon. Of course, he's easily the one of the best size 2s in the game. I mean, or at least he used to be. So he has 1 gauge and Soul Guard. So next we play 2 copies of Firestone Dragon. So this guy, his skill, pay 1 gauge when an armor dragon enters your field. For this turn, that card gets power 2k. So this card also gets power when it enters the field as well. So core cost of 1 gauge. 1 gauge is easy. So yeah, you can call a size 1 and it becomes buffed. Yeah. So it helps to break walls. I mean, when you call this, it's a 9k power for that turn, so actually it's really good. Okay, next 3 copies Crimson Battler Boosted Dragon. So it has move can protect the center, simple logic. So its stats are decent, however you have to have item with fist. Okay, next 3 copies Michaela Sword Dragon. Pay 1 gauge. If you have 5 or more different monsters in your drop zone, this card gets 3k power and penetrate. So it's a 8k power breaker when you have 5 or more monsters in drop zone, and of course it has penetrate. Okay, 2 Left Sword Dragon. So if this card is on the left, it gets Armor Knight Ogre stats. Decent. So now the actual combo cards in the deck. So 4 copies of this Systemic Dagger Black Edge. He's a 100 demon card. So core cost of 1 gauge, put another card with Systemic in its card name from your field into the drop zone. If you do this, card gets critical 1 and double attack. Okay, so basically it's a 3 crit double attack, so you can deal 6 damage to his face. Which is really potent. I mean, you can just finish him on in 1 turn if he doesn't have any defenses. Okay, and it has double attack, so it's really good for getting rid of the monster in the center. So we play 4 Systemic Dagger Dragon. So he's just a vanilla size 1. So of course Black Edge's skill requires him to destroy a systemic card, so he has to either destroy Systemic Dagger or destroy 1 copy of himself. Yeah, so that's actually, so we max out the systemics. Okay, moving on, we play one tag in Psychic Knife Dragon. So you can tap this or rest this, whatever. You can rest this and destroy a monster with 4k or less defense on your opponent's field. On the field. I mean, you can destroy your own monster if you want, but that's really stupid. Haha. Okay, 4 copies Blade Wing Dragon, our body monster with move, so you can protect your center. So of course move is weak to penetrate as usual. Okay, let's get on with the spells. 1 copy Dragonic Gatebreaker. So when you want to finish off your opponent with Systemic Dagger Black Edge, you can use this to clear the center, so you can hit him twice with 3 criticals. So 1 copy of Gold Dragon Shield. So damage can be reduced to 0, so any type of damage, which means impact damage works as well. So it's a pseudo impact nullifier, so 1 copy. So next we play 3 copies Flying Dragon Shield. So we run like this, so this can work on impacts, however this only works on attacks. So pay 1 gauge, reduce the damage to 0 and you gain 1 life. Only works from damage from an attack. So we use this when your attacks cannot be nullified. No, when you cannot nullify your opponent's attacks like Excalibur or Dirk Shotel. So basically, you can reduce, keyword reduce to 0 and you gain 1 life. So life gain is really important. The cumulative life gain will keep you alive. So 4 copies of our standard Green Dragon Shield. So nullify the attack, gain 1 life. So nullify is really good because you can protect your monsters. Okay, so 2 copies of Dragonic Loop. So you may only cast this card during an attack on a size 2 monster, size 2 or less monster on your field. So return one of those monsters to your hand and put the top card of the deck into your gauge. What? So basically when your monster gets attacked, you can return it to your hand and put the top card of your deck into the gauge. So because there's only 4 Systemic Dagger Black Edge, so you can save it by returning it to your hand. Yeah, because it's size 2 or less monster, and you get to increase your gauge, so basically you can call him for free. Because he costs Black Edge costs 1 gauge, so whatever. So basically you get to reuse the monster. So 2 copies of Dragonic Grimoire. So yeah, to refresh your hand if you have a bunch of deck cards. Okay, next, last spells we have 4 Drago Energy. So basically you can buff your cards. So you can either use it offensively or defensively. So counter attack is really good. Basically you have all the move monsters, you can place them in the center. Your opponent most likely will use their weakest card or their card with penetrate to attack. So hopefully you can use the Drago Energy to block off that attack and destroy his monster, of course. Okay, so weapons. We play Fist because one of the move monsters, Boosted Dragon, requires Fist. So there's no harm in Fist, I mean they're just like normal weapons. So 2 copies of Drago Square. So Drago Square is a 5k 2 crits, equip cost of 1 gauge. So we have Drago Square's best friend here, Drago Burst, 5k 2 crit as well. So basically all the weapons are the same, however this is pay 1 life. So if you don't have the gauge, you can use Drago Burst. If you have the gauge, you can use Drago Square. I mean, yeah, you just played it. They're both really good. Because 5k can clear your opponent's center most of the time. So two copies of impact cards. 1 5th Omni Divine Arts Howling Storm. So basically you can destroy a card on your opponent's field and deal 2 damage to your opponent. So basically if your monsters are not getting through, you can use him. Use this card to destroy his monster. However, it's a 3 gauge, but you get to do 2 damage as well. Okay, so next impact. Got Spell of the White Dragon DD. So pay 4 gauge, nullify the impact and deal 2 damage to your opponent. So use this when you have 6 or more Armor Dragon in the drop zone. However, it works well because Black Edge destroys your own Armor Dragons. Yeah. So there's, to some extent, there's a synergy. So run just 2 copies. Really, don't need like heavy finishers like Gargantua or Gigantic because it really doesn't work that well because this deck doesn't focus on increasing your gauge really quickly. So to get to 4 gauge is really slow. Yeah, and you could already have died. However, this 4 gauge, for your opponent to get to 4 gauge and you to get to a 4 gauge is really fine. I mean, you get to counter his impact. Yeah, so pretty good. So I'm going to show you the killer combo of this deck, obviously. So it will require systemic daggers and of course a weapon. So let's just say you have a Drago Square equipped. Okay, so start of your turn you have nothing, so you can play your systemic dagger to the center. It doesn't really matter. So you can play your Black Edge. So Black Edge, what does Black Edge do? This skill, you can destroy him. Okay, then you can play another Black Edge. And you can play another systemic. So Black Edge skill, the other Black Edge, you can destroy your own systemic. So now both of these have double attack and 3 criticals, so they can deal maximum 12 damage to your opponent. So I mean, this combo is the most ideal situation you would have, so if you have this you probably win. So weapon is just for 5k power to attack center. Yep, so to finish off your opponent, maybe you can have Maquila Sword Dragon. Maquila Sword Dragon with 8k power, if it's late enough into the game, 8k power and penetrate. 8k power, 3 crits penetrate, so yeah, you can destroy his center and penetrate. So of course another way you can end this is to nullify his impact and deal damage to him. So however you have to drop him to 2 health though. That's pretty hard. I mean, they usually have some form of healing or nullify. So when you drop them to 2 health, you pretty much already won. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below to show me some support. So of course, you can comment down your comments for this deck. I mean, how to improve it or how you would personally run it. So yeah, stay tuned to more decks. I have a couple of decks coming up soon. 4000 Festival deck featuring 4000 Festival. So in case you're wondering what 4000 Festival is, it's this set spell which gives your monsters with 4000 power penetrate. And the second part of the ability, right, it allows you to call a size 1 monster every turn. Yeah, basically that's it. So that's one of the decks. Another deck would be, I don't know, generic Better DD Robos. So it's pretty cool sub-clan, in case you're wondering. So there's this, so basically this sub-clan is heavily buffed from Actonites and the chess, because they actually have decent stats now. It's like they have really decent stats. It's like just slightly weaker than Dragon World stats. So okay, I'll show it to you. So let's say this guy, let's say Spear card. So basically he's just 1k defense lesser compared to Systemic Dagger, so it's not too bad. He's a generic card, you can run it in any deck you want, so it's pretty good. And of course they got a bunch of new support like consistency spells, fallback, so pay 1 life and put a Better DD Robo from your drop zone into your hand. So it's like armor reuse, however you pay 1 life, but it's a generic card, just deal with it. Of course, better DD support, so it's actually much better than Drago Energy. Yeah, because for the lack of stronger monsters, they get stronger counter attack spells. Woo! And of course, one of the best cards is damage control. Okay, never mind, I'll save this for next time. So I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.